Hey fellow animals, so first of all, sorry if I sound a bit tired or derpy. I've just started a new medication for the misophonia and it's kind of interfered with my sleep last night, so I'm kind of out of it. But I just really wanted to make this video, as soon as I could, because I just wanted to say thank you to each and every one of you. Like, just, even though I've put 110% into this channel, deep down I never really expected that it would go anywhere. And just to see like this much support, that in 7 or 8 months, like 1,000 people have decided that my videos are worth watching and commenting, and it's just really awesome. And it still hasn't really sunk in, but yeah, especially right now, like, it's been hard getting through uni with the I won't go into it, but misophonia and all the sensory issues and stuff has been worsening, and I've been feeling pretty tired and burnt out, and it's just so awesome to have all the positivity from all of your comments, and just to be succeeding at something that I want to do with this YouTube channel, and just to see so many people, coming together and talking about a TV show that I love, and just the whole community that's grown around it, and how you all support me and support each other. And yeah, it's just, at the moment, right now, I'm not even exaggerating, it's the highlight of my life at the moment. Like, it's just so awesome. All of you are just awesome, and I just wanted to say thank you. So yeah, you're the best. But I guess, yeah, so for this video, I guess, to celebrate all of the awesome support from you guys, and yeah, just to say thank you for everything, including 1,000 subscribers, but also for all of the comments and all of your posts on Facebook and Discord and all of it. I figured I'd make a special sort of behind the scenes video. So basically what I'm gonna do is, I guess, give you an inside look of the process of how I actually make one of these videos. Starting with the idea, how I go through the process of like writing a script and recording and editing and all that kind of stuff. Just so you can sort of see, like, I guess, if you're ever interested in making your own videos, what the kind of process is like, at least for me, because it's different for everyone, but just in case you're curious about it. So yeah, I guess the first thing, in terms of ideas for videos, one of the things, I guess, that is often a challenge, especially if you have to make heaps of YouTube videos each year, is actually coming up with enough sort of viable ideas for videos. So one thing that I guess I kind of find helpful is to actually just spend lots of time talking to people about the theme of my channel. So for me, that's Kimba the White Lion. But yeah, just have sort of lots of just casual conversations with people related to the topic of your channel, and you'll find that lots of interesting ideas just sort of pop up in conversation. So, like, for example, you know, my friends and I on the Discord server were talking about, like, why Kitty's uncle in the series, Speckle Rex, has a spotted pattern on his fur, and then I had an idea based on that for a Kimbaspiracies video. And there's all kinds of times when this has happened. Like, it's just sort of, ideas just sort of pop up if you sort of give your brain material to work with by just having a conversation and seeing where it goes. Although, make sure you write the idea down as soon as you have it, because otherwise there's nothing more frustrating than having a great idea and then forgetting what it was. But another way I think that's a really good way to get ideas for videos is to sort of find something related to your channel topic that I guess is sort of repeating, or that you can sort of, I guess, something that you can use multiple times. So for example, with Kimba the White Lion, there's hundreds of pieces of fan art on the internet. So fan art showcase videos are a really good idea, because it's basically one video idea, a fan art showcase, but you get to just separate that into heaps and heaps of separate videos because there's so much material to talk about. And the same, like, episodes are another example, episode reviews, because you only really need to have the idea of reviewing episodes. It's like one idea and you get 52 videos out of it, because there's 52 episodes of Kimba, and that's not even counting the 1989 series or the the 66 sequel series. So if you've got your own channel topic, look for something like that, where it's something that you can repeat, that there's a lot of, and you can make a whole series of videos out of it, and it sort of takes off the pressure a little bit of having to think of some totally new idea for every single video. One thing I do if everything else fails is sometimes I just go on Wikipedia and I just click the random article button, which I know sounds a bit silly, but basically I'll go to a random article and oh my, that's gonna have to censor that in post. But yeah, go to a random article and think about how I could connect it to the channel. So and some articles you won't be able to connect, but I mean, let's have a look at this one for example. So this is someone who was a first-class cricketer, so perhaps you might think of making a video about what kind of sport would Kimba's jungle most likely have, or something like that. And it doesn't matter if your ideas seem silly, like, just let your brain just flow, don't filter out ideas at this stage, because you just want to let your creativity go. So yeah, so here we could think, like, what's a good flag for Kimba's jungle, or you could think, what Olympic sport would Kimba most likely win a medal in, or whatever. Just look for random stuff on the page, think about how you can connect it to the theme of your channel, and I find it's a really good hack to get ideas when you can't think of anything. So the next thing after the idea stage is the planning stage. This is actually, I think this is the most important part of the whole process. Even though this actual stage won't directly produce anything that you're showing your audience, it's crucially important, because the way YouTube works, you need to get videos out regularly, whether it's twice a week or once every 2 weeks. You need some kind of regularity to it, especially when you're a small channel. And it really, really helps to plan ahead of time, to say, you know, I want to write this script on this day, I want to record, you know, the audio for this video on this day. Yeah, it's just, I can't say enough how important it is. So what I find I usually do with this planning stage is I actually have a spreadsheet, as you can see. So I put a list of all my video ideas down the left. I put across each of the stages of making a video, and then I sort of tick them off as I go along, and I put in, for things I haven't done yet, I put in the date when I'd like to do it. I need to update this because obviously I won't be doing all that on one day, but yeah, and it's good to just, you know, plan it all out. Now I usually like to record all of the videos the previous year and then upload them throughout the year. I guess I just find that I really don't like deadlines, and you know, I'd really rather have flexibility. You know, if something happens and I end up, you know, injured, or I have an assignment that is getting out of control at uni, or whatever, I like to have the flexibility of not having to worry about finishing a whole video by Sunday. It's good. I prefer to do it all the previous year and then sort of be able to just release it every Sunday and not panic about it, and just be working on next year's videos, you know, at a reasonable pace. The exception to that is videos like this, where it's sort of more improvised, and, you know, I sort of, if I want to be more genuine, like when I'm, you know, talking about a subscriber milestone, or directly addressing you guys about something, that's when I'll actually record the video, you know, the day before I upload it. But apart from those kinds of videos, like all the video essays and the fan art showcases and that kind of stuff, all of that I record the year before, and I just find it makes it less stressful. But you don't necessarily have to do that. That's just how I do it. But it's important to know what your plan is. Do you want to make a video every week? Do you want to record ahead of time? Figure out what you want to do, write out a plan, and stick to it. So the next, I guess, stage of making a video is the writing stage. And this is actually where you sort of take the idea of the video and then stretch it out into an actual, I guess this is the first time you make an actual product that your audience is actually going to see and hear. So, I mean, this is the most tiring part of making a video, but it's also the most, the part where you get to express yourself the most, you know. I guess the thing I really like about writing videos is that it's not like writing essays at school or university where you have this really strict structure. You know, you have to write about what they say you should write about. You have to structure your paragraphs in a certain way. You have to have, you know, the right kind of size of your introduction and conclusion, and stick to a word limit and blah blah blah. And I find that, like, I guess a bit oppressive, because I just, you know, it's just it's not fun to write something for someone else on their terms, you know. So the thing that I really love about YouTube is that you can write however long a script you want. You can wind in whatever direction you want. You don't have to stick to a rigid structure. And I just find that is really liberating and really allows me to be really, expressive, to just, it feels more natural. It feels more natural to just sort of write in whatever way I feel works best for the video and not to worry about some set structure. I do find though with writing that it's really, really hard to actually start. I can spend literally hours looking at a blank page, and I'm not exaggerating. I can spend hours trying to get my brain to produce words, and it just doesn't happen. If that happens to you, don't get disheartened, because that is absolutely normal. Usually what I find is I have to make sure I don't do anything the day before. So I have to leave myself a full day after work or uni or anything, usually. And then once I've had that day, I guess, to sort of, I don't know, let my mind defragment, then the day after, I actually am more able to get some work done. There's also other things that I sort of need to do to get my brain into writing mode. Drink lots of water, make sure I have a full night's sleep the night before, make sure I close Discord so I don't keep getting distracted by notifications, and just really make sure that there's nothing to interrupt me and the script, and I just sort of let my brain just vomit onto the page. Like, I just write everything that comes into my brain, just put it all down, because that's the really hard part, is actually getting it to form into some kind of, even if it's a completely messy structure, to get it to form into some kind of structure in your brain, and then get that onto the page. That's the single hardest part in this whole process. And once you've done that, actually editing the script and cleaning it up and getting it to make sense is actually the really easy bit. Rewriting the entire script over the process of editing it is actually easier than initially writing the script, because it's just once you have something to start with and it's not a blank page anymore, it just is goes so much smoother. In terms of research, that's a really big part of this stage, especially for the video essays like Kimbaspiracies and The Art of Kimba the White Lion and those kinds of videos. Usually what I'll do before I actually start writing, I'll just read up a bit on the topic, the basic premise of my video. So say if I was, say I was making a video, let's use the example before of what sport might Kimba's jungle play. So I might, Google sports for animals or something. That's depressing. Yeah, basically, you do a bit of basic background research, or say you were looking at a video about, electoral systems. You might go and have a look at some different kinds of electoral systems and just learn the basics, of the idea. And then after that, I just write the script I don't worry about researching while I'm writing that first draft, because like I said, you just need to get that stream of consciousness in your brain onto the page. That's all you have to do in that stage, and you should not introduce any extra variables. Don't worry about grammar, don't worry about research or any of that while you're writing the first draft. After that, that's when you actually go through the script and you actually sort of work out, you actually go through and check all of the facts that you've put in. So, say for example, so a lot of these are sort of personal videos, so it's not applicable, but here we are. So this is an upcoming video, so you get a bit of a sneak peek, but yeah, so say you've got a video like this, and what you'd do is you'd read through the script that you've written, and you look for any facts that you've stated. So for example, let's have a look here. Yeah, so here I make the claim that the aftermath of a fire is where there's a whole lot of trees that grow, and some of them can only sprout in the aftermath of a fire. So that's an example. So you'd want to go online and double check that fact with a number of sources. So, just type in something like, are there some trees that only grow after a fire? And yeah, in this case, you'll find that the answer is yes, but because I've already checked that. But sometimes you'll find the answer is no, and if that's the case, you go back and correct the script, and you you just keep doing that. Go through a couple of times through the whole script, check all of the facts that you've stated, check all of the claims you've made, and just double check that it's all accurate. So yeah, that's the writing process. It's a lot of work, but it's also a really great form of self-expression, and it's exhausting, but it's also freeing, to be able to write so much for yourself and for an audience that cares about the things that you care about. It's just, maybe this is just for me because I spend so much time writing essays and stuff like that for uni that but it just feels really freeing to write without structure like that. So the next stage is actually a bit of a quick and easy one, which is making the thumbnail image. So usually I actually use PowerPoint for this, which you might find surprising because it's not an image editing program, but I find that it's really good for making thumbnails, because usually what you'll be doing is you'll be placing other images together into one scene, for want of a better word. And PowerPoint, with the way you can drag things around, I know you can do that in image editors too, but it's more intuitive and easier in PowerPoint. And I think it's just a really flexible program, and it just sort of, it does whatever you need it to do, really. Like you wouldn't use it for intense, image editing, but for a basic thing like a YouTube thumbnail, it's really, really effective, because it's just so easy to move stuff around and get it to work, Oh, yeah, one trick I found. So if you're looking for images for your thumbnail, what you can do is type the thing you want to find and then type file type :png. And what you'll find then is that it'll actually give you lots of images that have a solid color background or a transparent background, and it's really easy then to make those, you know, into a YouTube thumbnail, or to add them in over whatever background you want. So I find that's really helpful. Like say if I wanted a picture of Pikachu, for example. See, all of these have got, or most of them have got, you know, transparent backgrounds or solid color backgrounds, and it's just really helpful because it makes it so much easier to edit later on. Yeah, so a couple of things with thumbnails. Have some consistent format for all your thumbnails. So for me, it's the little colored border around the edge. Keep it visually simple so you can see it from a distance. Make sure the text is big. Only 1 or 2 images on the screen, you know, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's a bit similar actually to the process of if you've ever designed a flag, or even like a logo, or anything that needs to be seen from a distance. In this case, YouTube thumbnails are more seen at a small size rather than a distance, but the same rules apply. You want it to be attention grabbing, simple, you know, the audience can see what your video is about just by looking at the picture, right? Yeah, so that's the thumbnail part. Sorry, I had a brain glitch there. So the next stage is actually recording the audio for the video, and I find that this stage, once you get into the swing of it, it's easy, but often it can be like really awkward, you know, when you are first actually starting the recording. Or maybe that's just me because I'm super introverted and self-conscious and whatever, but so I worry about somebody outside listening to me talking to no one and thinking I'm crazy. But yeah, I find usually the program I use is Audacity, and I basically I'll record for as long as I can. So, you know, I'll start recording the audio for the video. I'll just keep reading through the script until I stuff it up, and then I'll stop and edit out the bit where I stuffed up, and then I'll start again from that bit, and basically, yeah, just go through and do that. And I find that just going for as long as possible and only cutting when you mess up just makes the whole thing more genuine. It flows more naturally. You know, the less cuts there are, the less people will notice it. But obviously, if you make a mistake, then you should cut there, which is totally fine. I make heaps of mistakes during recording the audio. I stumble over my words all the time, and you'll be seeing that in the video next week with the bloopers. Yeah, it's totally normal. Usually it's once you get started, it's a pretty painless process to do audio. One thing though, you need a good microphone. Like, you know, a good camera is not as essential as a good microphone. People, I don't know why exactly, but definitely for me at least, I find that I can watch through a video with terrible video quality, you know. I'm happy to watch something that's blurry, 140 pixels, I don't care. But if the microphone sounds tinny or it's only in one ear or whatever, I just can't. And so that's really important to have a good microphone. So I use the Blue Snowball. You can use whatever good microphone. Usually you'll have to order it online, because the ones they sell in shops are pretty rubbish, as I found out the hard way with $100 I'll never get back. So yeah, I ordered a Blue Snowball online and I don't regret it, because it's really made a difference for my videos. And this is not sponsored, by the way. I'm just sharing what I do. But yeah, get a good microphone. Don't worry if you have to, do 300 takes. It's normal. Just record away and don't worry about being self-conscious. You'll get through it. Cause even I've recorded, I don't know, 60 videos or something now. I still get nervous every time I start a video. I still stumble over my words, and it's fine. That's what editing's for. Speaking of editing, that's the next stage. So yeah, video editing. In terms of that, I use Premiere Elements. I'm aware that there are free programs out there. Movie Maker is not good enough, basically. It just can't do most of the things you'll need it to do. Like basic things, you want to have multiple layers and have an image move across a background. You can't even do that in Movie Maker. So you need something better than that. But there are some free programs out there. I think Lightworks might be free. I'd have to double check that. There's a lot. But I found personally that Premiere Elements is the program that I can really get my head around the easiest. It's the most intuitive to me, so that's why I personally use it. But don't feel like you have to fork out the money for it. Just use whatever video editing program that you think you feel the most comfortable with. But for me, I think Premiere Elements is worth the money for me, because I just click with it. I don't know why. Something about the interface, I just like it. So I think editing is actually really my favorite part of editing videos. Well, obviously editing's my favorite part of editing, but it's my favorite part of the whole process of making a video, because unlike writing, like in writing, you'll have good days where you write heaps, and then you'll have bad days where you can't write anything and you're really tired and you feel really bad about yourself because you're not writing what you plan to, and it's stressful. It's enjoyable, but it's stressful. But with editing, it's not really like that, because it's a really predictable kind of process. Like you just go through it kind of mechanically, and I think I really like that, because it's almost like a meditative thing. Like you just drag each clip into place and cut them down to the right length, and you gradually see the whole thing come together, and it's just like a really satisfying, relaxing kind of process. However, if you don't press the save button regularly, it's the opposite of relaxing. So make sure you just keep saving as much as you can. But yeah, basically some tips and tricks with this. Usually, I'll see if I can open a project that I've worked on recently to sort of show you. Hopefully it cooperates. Yeah. So Okay, that's not a good example. Alright, are we... crud. Alright. Yes. Okay. Yeah, never mind. But anyway, basically, yeah, so a tip that I use, I'll probably cut out that bit where I just ummed and ahed, or maybe I'll leave it in for comedic effect, I don't know. But anyway, so what I do with with my little character who I put in the bottom right, I've actually cropped the image in such a way that it's the same size as the video frame. And so that way it actually sort of sits above the video in exactly the right place, and I don't have to worry about dragging it into the right place when I cut between stuff and that kind of thing. So like, as you can see here, with this sort of transition there, where I transition between two different emotions, if I had to manually drag the characters into place, it would be an absolute nightmare, because it looks like the character jumps across the screen, you have to try and get them in the right place, it's just a mess. So I find that cropping it to the size of the video with this big space in the bottom, in the top left of the image, just makes it so much easier, because you can just drag it in and there it is. No need to position it right or anything. Alright, so finally, the final stage. You've got your video done, you're ready to upload it. So what I find, actually there's a feature that YouTube has that is really good for me, which is the schedule uploads feature. And basically what that is up in the top right, you've got this little thing, you upload, you know that. But here, this drop down box, you go to scheduled, and then you upload your video, whatever it is. Let's just grab a random one. Yeah, that'll do. Get a copyright strike for that. Let's not do that. Get demonetized. Get my channel taken down. No. Yeah. All right. So what you can do, you can set the exact time and date that you want your video to go up. And so you can actually make sure that your video goes up exactly the same time every week, and you'll have people who actually will, I guess, either deliberately or subconsciously learn the rhythm of your channel and come back each week to view your videos, and so it's a really helpful thing to do. So yeah, I just find scheduling really good. Other stuff, I always tick this box. As someone with sensory disabilities myself, I want to make sure that my videos are accessible to anybody who, you know, is hard of hearing, or anybody who needs any kind of accessibility help. I don't really have the resources to do that properly, but I figure the least I can do for now is at least to set a video language, turn on the captions, so that at least that's something, you know. And all it takes is a click, so there's really no reason not to do it. In terms of tags, I just put as many as I want. I don't research what tags are the best to use or anything. I just type in what's relevant to the video, and that seems to work pretty well. Description, usually I put what my video's about in the first couple of lines, and then after that I just put the links to my Facebook and Discord server. I put, you know, credit to all the artists I featured in the video and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, just anything you need to communicate to your audience, what the video is about, who helped you with it, just drop it all in there. And yeah, that's pretty much the process. So, you know, it is a lengthy process, but I find that it's really enjoyable for me, you know, making videos, because it's something where I get to talk about something that really matters to me, and to meet other people who Kimba really matters for them as well. And just I think just the whole community around it, you know, and just the way it gives me a sense of purpose beyond all of the, you know, beyond assignments and work and everything, which I like. I really, you know, enjoy uni, and I enjoy learning, and I enjoy work, but at the end of the day, there's just something about YouTube that feels so much deeper and more personal and more genuine, and I just feel like I really like doing it. Like, it's something that, I don't know, it gives me a reason to live, I guess. It's just really, I don't know, it's just, I can't explain it, but I just really find YouTube to be a really great thing to do. So if you're thinking of making YouTube videos and you're not really sure whether to start or what to do, if you have the time, yeah, I recommend it, because it's just, you know, I didn't expect to hit 1,000 subscribers at all, let alone in 7 months. Yeah, I still haven't processed it, but, you know, you never know, it might work out. And I've had, you know, failed YouTube channels before, so, you know, don't ever give up. Keep going, and don't worry too much about whether you're getting views or whatever. Just make what you want to make, pour as much love and effort into it as you can, and if you enjoy the videos, then that's already worth it, you know, even if no one watches it. But of course, for me, seeing all of the people who have found my videos valuable, and seeing the whole Kimba the White Lion fan community just come alive again after all these years has been just the most rewarding thing. Like, yeah, it's just, I honestly can't put it into words, because, you know, it's just, yeah, I've always wanted to see this fandom, you know, come to life, and now it has. And that's not just my doing, that's, you know, Alley Cat, you know, that's the website by Craig Anderson many years back. So many people have done their part for our fandom, and I'm just a small part of that, but it's just really, you know, awesome to be a part of that, and to be a part of this community coming back and coming alive, and seeing all the passion, you know, all of the comments that you've left with insightful thoughts about Kimba, and all of the fan art that you've made of the series, and all of the posts you make every day on our Discord and Facebook, and every view on the videos. Like, it's just really, really awesome, and really rewarding. And even though it's tiring and, you know, exhausting to make videos, it's also so rewarding and so fun to see the end result, and to see how much joy and how much interest it generates, and, you know, the joy it brings me alone is worth it to talk about Kimba, but even more so the amount of support and the amount of value, you know, that you've found in my videos, and how many people have found it valuable is just, you know, awesome, you know. And yeah, just thank you, because it's so worth it. It really is. So yeah, I guess I'll wrap it up now. I've rambled on long enough. Yeah, thank you so much to every single one of you. If you haven't subscribed already, make sure you click subscribe, click this button, and then click that bell button, click that like button, and that'll help me to get my videos seen. And yeah, leave a comment. I always love to hear from you. I read all. Yeah, feel free to contact me on the Facebook or the Discord. I'll put links in the description. Always happy to talk. Always happy to discuss Kimba or anything in general. And yeah, thank you so much. Like, subscribe, and have an awesome day. Yeah, thank you.